Gonna wait for everybody to come up in here. Ready to go? All right, does everybody hear me? Put a one in the chat if you're able to hear me.
Yeah, you're coming through.
All right, cool. Good evening, gentlemen. It is your boy Sirius and the Great Ghost. He dropped by early, ready to go. Like always, we are ready to drop some gems on you today. And the topic for today is women always affected, okay? Or women most affected, sorry. Because it's literally the audacity of society today that no matter what happens to a man, it's the woman that takes priority, which is pretty ridiculous. But we will definitely get into it in a bit. Before we begin, I have to let you guys know I just got remonetized today. Good for me, yay! So people that were unable to donate because you said that, you know, you're outside the US, so you can't use Cash App. Now you have the ability to donate through super chats if you want. You can donate through either thing. It doesn't matter to me. Okay, any donations is appreciated by me. Let me see who's in the chat right now. Oh, everybody's flowing in right now. I see Super Turbo Jet Shark was good. Michael, Revan, McCracken, Moon was good. Yes, this art was made last year, August. It's great art, great work. Cultimus Maximus, what's good? J Calvin, of course. The second hat. Where's the third hat? Where's the third hat? Blood Wolf was good. G Smith Studio. He says got the echo button turned off. Let's just say we did a quick little test and we were able to figure out the situation. Cultimus Maximus also says men most affected in reality. Yes, that is true. And before we begin, Michael Simmons send a super chat. He says, "Here's $1." Yeah, technically it's $1. It's $1 since they're taking what 50% of that shit. It's crazy. Also, I missed super chat from earlier when I was playing some video games. Let me go ahead and pull that up right quick. Where you at? I really need to organize my computer. Like, seriously. Alright, it's from AC. He says, YouTube doesn't let me send chat or some chills to your stream. Well, that's weird. That's very weird. Probably because I just got monetized today. Maybe that's why. But regardless, I don't care. Your donation is greatly appreciated. All right. Are you ready to begin, the Grey Ghost?
Yes, I am.
All right. Let's start with let's start with something with the first one. Let's see if I can bring it up. Go. Bam. You remember the Johnny Depp situation, right?
That I do.
And I'm going to read this quote for all you guys to see. He says, and this is even after he was proven innocent of being associated with that demon Amber Heard. He says, I've lost everything. No matter the outcome of this trial, I've already lost. I lost when these allegations were made because they will stay with me forever. My life is ruined forever. And this isn't, once again, any man can be affected by Me Too. But the fact that Johnny Depp, out of all people, Johnny Depp? That's crazy. We shouldn't be surprised. But at the same time, if somebody of that high of a caliber his life is technically destroyed. I'm talking about reputation wise. No man is safe. None. And ever since 2017, 2016, when the Me Too movement became fucking rampant, and of course, women, they take advantage of that situation and use it as a weapon just because they feel scorn or they want to avoid admitting that they're cheaters. So they just pull out a Me Too in order to avoid accountability or ruin a man's life. What do you have to say about that, Gray?
That's the thing. He's exactly right there because, well, part of it is that women have an in-group preference, men have an out-group preference. Like, unfortunately, men, by and large, like to see other men taken down a peg, especially more successful. I think, probably as a more recent example, like him or hate him, Justin Roiland. Like, accusation got out, and he lost both his place in Rick and Morty, and I think Solar Opposites was either canceled or at the very least he was pulled off.
Yeah, and who's the other famous actor? Jonathan Majors. He got hit with, in my opinion, is false accusations. They didn't go to court yet, but based on what I've heard and seen so far, I'm pretty confident that he's innocent of what his ex-girlfriend is accusing him of. And he lost major deals. His management dropped him. He lost a few roles, major roles. Just because his girl said, "Oh, he put his hands on me, he hit me, he did this, he did that." And of course, a man in the West is guilty until proven innocent. Just off. Oh, what'd you say?
Well, that's the thing, because this is a big part of the influence of social media. Because like before, this would have been relegated to like the tabloids,
right?
This would have been some minor rumor, and you would have needed like a media source with some sort of decent reach to get it out. But this would have been like tabloid level schlock. But nowadays, when celebrities are speaking directly to people, directly to their audience or fans or whatever, there's no gatekeeper.
I agree. And once again, Chad, we're not. I'm not saying that. Oh, celebrity men, they're the most affected. No. Men of all walks of life in the West are in danger of having their life fucked over, just over a woman's word alone, right?
Yeah, like we only see the celebrity stuff because, well, they're celebrities. They have a wide range, but this stuff is undoubtedly happening every single day in the corporate world.
Yep. In the office, at colleges, at I know I was going to say one more place, but I know the main two places are the corporate world and colleges.
Anywhere where there's an HR.
Exactly. Or hell,
and
it can just be a gathering, such as the club and stuff, or like bars and shit.
Yeah, or like any sort of like family, like any sort of family situation. Like I remember hearing this one story. So it's like a couple and they have a daughter, and the daughter invites a bunch of her female friends over, and then the wife says, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna head out for a little bit and go grab a thing," and the dad's like, "No, let me go. Tell me what you need." And the wife's like, "Why?" And he's like, "You're gone. All it takes is one of these girls to say something, and our family is torn apart."
I agree. I definitely agree with what you're saying. And I forgot another famous case. Do you know the voice actor for Brawly, Vic something?
Vic Mignon.
Which that was crazy, and even when he was proven innocent, there were still people. The was it a Bulma voice actor?
I don't know the details.
I forgot who it was, but they still kept up with the lie. They still insisted that, oh, you know, he did do this, even though there was clear evidence that no, he didn't do any of what you just said. You know, so like what Johnny Depp said in this photo here, it doesn't matter. Like, once that stigma is put on a man, especially in this day and age, you're fucked. You know, even when you're completely innocent, people are still gonna, the public will still put that stigma on you forever. You literally have to move to a different town, city, or country in order to get away from the stigma.
It depends how far it went. Because keep in mind, if it's corporate, like we've heard from these HR ladies, they all talk to each other.
Agreed.
Like, there's a gossip network among HR, so I'm pretty sure that no matter how fast you can change jobs, even state to state, guarantee you all these HR ladies are talking about what you're accused of doing, and they're sharing your photo.
Exactly.
Like, you'll basically, like, if you get accused in the white collar industries, you're gonna have to leave white collar.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much. Yeah.
You basically have to move into a blue collar trade industry because like, there's no HR department. But by and large,
That is
if you're
true.
accustomed to making like a 6-figure salary doing programming, good fucking.
But
now, on the other hand, this is what makes all this fucking remote work stuff absolutely great because everything's monitored.
yeah,
You got video recording evidence for absolutely.
well, that's what more and more men are opting to do. More men now than ever are leaving college. Okay, it's not the entire reason, but that's a big reason. Is the Me Too situation. On top of that, like you said, more and more men are definitely going remote. They don't want to go to stay at work and stuff. And plus, it is more convenient for a man to work at home, in my opinion.
Well, here's the thing, like when you're getting the same amount of work done, and you don't have to commute an hour each way, unpaid. Like when you get to go from having to spend 10 hours of your day to do an 8-hour shift to 8 hours is 8 hours. Like, why the heck would you go back to doing 2 hours of unpaid travel time and gas?
Shit, I wouldn't. And on top of that, more and more men, they're following the Mike Pence rule. They're like, it's getting to the point where women are just non-existent to men in the workplace, just out of self-preservation. And this
actually, Chronic mentioned this in one of his most recent videos, and it's an old post. It's a post on 4chan, but I remember seeing something similar a while back. Men, if you're out in public and you see a woman, assume she is not attractive.
Yep, just keep it moving, keep it pushing. That's that's the best you can do. You know, if she truly desires you, then she will obviously let you know. But even then, in 2023, keep your motherfucking guard up. Like, I'm not even joking.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, she might not, but that's the thing. Because like, women don't make the first.
Exactly. So that's already red flag in itself.
Like they try to shame men for all kinds of shit. For like, oh, you're scared of rejection. Is like, no man is as scared of rejection as a woman.
No, No, not even close. See, you just explained right there. Even though they are the one that caused the problems, made the rules, these new rules that men have to follow, somehow it's still the man's fault for following these rules that they've created. Like, what the fuck? This is what this little meme that I put up I think it was yesterday. Men now avoid women at work. Another sign we're being punished for Me Too. Are you fucking?
Yeah. No, I'm like, here's the thing. There's actually, again, same video, like, a post of a woman saying, like, a female coworker said that it's isolating working with men, like working with all men, because they all maintain a respectful distance to avoid being seen as creeps, and it's very isolating. It's like, so men just treating another woman as a man, not trying to flirt, not going the extra mile, just speaking on work-related stuff, that is isolating to them. How addicted to fucking attention do you need to be that when you're not being actively flirted with on a daily basis, you consider that isolating?
Like, like even men don't talk to other men like that at work. We're going to work, not socialize. Well, we'll talk during lunch, maybe. You know, maybe a couple words here and there throughout the day, but we ain't trying to talk.
God, dude, I'm telling you, where I work, there are some fucking chat. I wish some of these guys would just shut up, because, like, imagine you got 3 amateur comedians each trying to outcompete each other in a stand-up competition for hours on it.
That'd be very fucking annoying.
It is very fucking annoying.
Yeah. Like, shut up and get back to work, because we need to get this done. Like, you can talk after. Like, don't talk right now.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, when I try saying that shit, they want to start fights. So it's like, fuck it, I ain't paid enough to make sure you're productive. I get paid by the hour.
I do remember a woman freaking out because when she went to these like 2-3 dudes, like they were just chilling, you know, just outside enjoying a cigarette. As soon as she approached them, 2 out of 3 of them just left, and the last one wasn't even trying to talk to her.
I mean,
so she felt some type of way.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing: like, women. Like, you remember that woman a while back that said that she was so happy that men are now scared of women.
Oh yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, so here's the thing. Women, what did you do when that woman said? You did fucking nothing.
Yeah, like,
you let that stink out in the air, and you did not push back. And so that's the thing. Yes, you're a weapon. You're a hazard. Your very presence is a threat to men's livelihood. So now they're going to avoid it.
Exactly.
It's not their fault. It's not their fault. They're not making the rules. Men are under no obligation to risk their livelihood for your emotional well-being.
I already told the story of me rushing back home so I can play some Call of Duty, and I completely ghosted this chick that walked right past me, and she just like, hello. I'm like, what? Like, I don't know you. Like, why you angry with me? Like, what'd I do? Like,
wait. I just thought of something. You know that scene in the Boondocks, where the one black dude's trying to have an end moment with the white dude, and the white dude starts to get angry, and then he's like, "Oh wait, I'm white," and walks away.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: now when a woman gets randomly angry with you for no reason, you go, "Oh wait, I'm a man."
Like, I don't give a shit. Like, why you like get out of here? And don't get me wrong. Like, she wasn't bad looking, but I think that, you know, this is the first time in her life or in a long time that a man didn't really give a fuck about her looks. Like, I just kept going forward.
She wanted to attract. Like, because that's like remember, like women do not even see like the vast majority of men as existing or even human.
Yeah, pretty much.
So be concerned about your attention means that you're one of that 10% or 20% of the population that she actually deems as real.
Like, you see how crazy like the thought process of Western women. You demonize men to the point where just your word alone can send him to jail, ruin his reputation, lose his job, completely destroying his life. But then you act shocked when a man respects your wishes to not be all flirty or pay too much attention to you or undress you with his eyes. He is just saying, okay, you know, you're a co-worker, I'm a co-worker. Let's go ahead and do this job. If it's not about work, I don't want to talk to you. Go away.
Like, I'll be honest, if there is, like, if I'm out on the street in public, like, I do not look at a woman any longer than I need to in order to verify that is a female, and then my eyes are looking somewhere else.
Man,
like, in the peripheral vision, like that's it.
I'm seeing more and more men wearing shades these days.
Well, but then the other thing too is, like, I'll be honest, it is hard to tell the difference between a 16-year-old and a 19-year-old at a glance.
That is true as well.
So men, it's like, so that's the double risk. It's like, no, I'm verifying you're a female, and then I'm looking somewhere else. Period.
Yeah, men need to be very, very careful out there. It's not a bit funny, but based on what we talked about right now, pretty much, even though the man's life is being destroyed or ruined, women are most affected.
No,
so
and here's one more thing. The women say that it is for that, like, they're concerned because it's like their mental health. Oh, it's so isolated. Well, here's the thing. We've been speaking from the perspective of men who are just doing this out of like self-preservation. But that's not even factoring in the men that genuinely believe what these women said. The ones that honestly and sincerely carry the original sin of being a man.
Right.
Like, so these women, like, they're talking about how fucking painful it's like, oh no, I feel so isolated. It's like, you feel isolated? You don't go around being told that you are absolutely worthless trash simply for what is between your legs.
Agreed.
Give no fucks for all the damage that you have done to the collective male psyche. But you expect men to be willing to sacrifice themselves so that you can feel a little more connected to your co-workers. Because that's it. Like, women, you want free attention? Go to the fucking bar.
Pretty much. Like,
there are still, like, I guarantee there are still simps out there who are going out to bars and whatnot to social.
Oh, well, women are never alone, ever. So I don't believe that bullshit about feeling isolated. Okay, you're just being a big baby right now.
Well, that's the thing. Like, keep in mind, that's 8 hours of the day where they don't have any face-to-face interaction with a man that they deem as.
Yeah, but okay, in their eyes, they feel isolated because they're not having the desirable men going after them or whatever. But they truly don't. They don't know the true meaning of isolation.
Yeah, like, if you could go on Twitter and somehow I'm getting feedback. I don't know whether, like, I'm not anymore, but that was weird. Anyway,
no,
that's the thing. Like, the very fact that they can go on social media and complain and then get a whole bunch of likes and retweets, like, you're not isolated. But at the same time, I understand the physical sensation aspect of it. because again, I fall back on this a lot, but like men when they are infants are most interested in like shapes and objects, like with a baby mobile above the crib. Whereas women, they're more interested in human faces. So I do think that face-to-face interaction is a lot more important to women psychologically than it is to men.
Yeah, it's a biological thing, you know. Attention is their what? Is their drug or a currency and shit?
That's the thing. Like August Lang, 200 simps in the DMs. That's the thing. There's a big difference between getting 200 messages in your DMs and getting 200 IRL instances of someone commenting.
Agreed. But at the end of the day, you know, I know, you know, women, they think differently on this, but isolation my ass. Sorry. Like, get the fuck out of here.
It's degrees of difference. Like a woman, she says she feels isolated, but that's like someone who's accustomed to living in Arizona, moving into the Midwest, and then complaining that it's chilly. Like, motherfucker, it's still like plus 20 outside. Oh, I'm so cold. I'm accustomed to plus 40. It's freezing here. Although, I guess convert that to American, it's like you're living at 100, 110, and then you move to an area where the peak is like 70 or like 80. And you're like, oh, I'm so cold. I need to put a sweater on. It's like, the fuck? It's beautiful weather. It's like, oh no, it's absolutely freezing. I'm accustomed to with 30 to 40 degrees hotter than this at all times.
Do you think that's okay? Do you think that's part of the reason why more and more women are getting more skimpier when it comes to their outfits in 2023? They get more desperate for that attention.
Well, keep in mind, like it's also like it's not just more desperate for general attention, but they're in competition.
Of course.
Because, like, keep in mind, if all women are wearing something of the same skimpiness, and then one of them switches to skimpier one's naturally going to get more attention because men are attracted to more skin. And so then all the other women are going to feel the deprivation of it. So they're going to switch to something skimpier. And then maybe one will go even further. So it eventually goes until they're all new.
So they're pretty much competing for attention of the men that they desire. Chinatown.
Like think of, again, OnlyFans too. Like they will just keep doing more and more extreme stuff to try to stand out and be more unique from their competition.
Agreed. Completely agree. But when it comes to men, it's second nature. We compete 24/7, 365 because we're men. That we compete. It is what it is. But based on what
the difference is, like when men compete, like when we're competing, like we want to grow, and we will actually help each other grow to a certain extent. It really depends on the context of the competition.
That's true.
But, like, we can have friendly competition where we both want to grow. Women having friendly competition, that is fiction. I have only ever encountered that in fiction. That is never an IRL.
Nope.
There's no such thing as a friendly competition with a woman.
Nope. And like I explained before, it gets so extreme. There's mothers competing with their own daughters. Like that, it gets that extreme. But we will go on to the next thing, because how we just explained, chat, on how no matter what happens to a man, a woman only cares about what happens to her personally. So she doesn't give a damn what happens to men unless it affects them directly. And we're going to bring this up because your boy Gecko Ninja created this. Boom. I can't really say that word, but
Schrodinger.
Yes, Schrodinger feminist. which I'm like, okay, this is a perfect example. A woman that is simultaneously a victim and empowered until something happens. Then she chooses which state benefits her the most. That's modern women in general. That's feminism today. It's got to the what'd you say?
Yeah, I just said yeah.
It's got to the point where you like it's a lose-lose situation. Lose-lose. No matter what a man does, the man will lose because modern women know that she can just easily switch it up in order to have her come out on top. Like, you can't tell me what to do. The future is female. Ha ha ha. But then when shit gets real, you know, the most extreme case, Ukraine real, all of a sudden she's a damsel in distress. All of a sudden the future is a female anymore. But pretty much what I'm saying is, when things aren't comfortable, they believe that they're Wonder Woman, and women in the West are a bunch of Amazonians that should conquer men and make men as their slaves and blah blah blah. But as soon as there's some type of disaster, such as an economic collapse, famine, war, nature problems such as, you know, flood and shit, all that rah goes away. But when men come in and save the day, like, okay, yeah, of course, men gotta come in and fix everything. And when things go back to normal, all of a sudden they're empowered again. What do you have to say about that, Gray?
Yeah, it's like, I see it day to day, because like the woman like will turn to the man and point out how helpless they are, like whenever they need something. But then as soon as credit is going to be distributed, like they will magnify like the tiniest illusion that they actually had some sort of contribution and make it seem like they're the ones who are truly responsible for things being like again, like behind, like the one that's like, oh, behind every great man is a great woman, is like bullshit. You probably would have been way fucking better off, like if you hadn't been a fucking nag inside. They'll take credit for being annoying. Trying to say like, well, he only did stuff because I constantly annoyed him into action.
The closest woman I'll give credit to is my mother, because I wouldn't exist. None of this will not happen if, you know, she didn't give birth. But that's the farthest I'm gonna go. That's the farthest I'm gonna go. You were not in the gym with me, okay? You were not in the gym with me.
Okay, and like let's be honest. A modern woman has a higher chance of successfully delivering a child if she's in a coma.
You talking about when they drug her up? Or
no, let's think, like a woman can carry a child from conception to birth, all while unconscious.
Well, I heard a couple of cases about that.
So, like, that's the thing. Like, I don't really give credit for, like, oh, it was so hard for the woman to give birth. Like, literally, you could have been unconscious and it would have been easy. Because every step of the way that you were fucking pregnant, the man had to work his ass off to provide.
That is true. That is true. So, pretty much I can say the closest credit I will give is to my mother for not aborting me. Yay! High five.
Yeah. Congratulations, you didn't become a murderer for convenience. Yay!
Oh, okay. I shouldn't be joking about this, but
no man ever gets congratulated for not killing someone. Like, no man will ever be like, yay, you didn't murder a child, yay.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. That does sound pretty morbid when we put that into perspective. Yeah. But this is pretty much what we got to deal with in society today, gentlemen. You already know feminism is getting more radical and more radical. I will say it will get to the point where the victim thing will go out the window until the next, disaster comes in for society. It would just be empowered. That's it. Because I will say the laws will be so biased against men, or there will be so much bias against men in the future. Why would they have to play victim at that point?
Well, that's the thing. Like they, the only reason that the laws can get more extreme is if women play the victim. Like, the thing is, women do not spur men into creating new simping laws for them because they're like, rah, rah, we're empowered. No, it's always, we're weak, we're helpless, you need to give us more.
Well, what I'm saying is they will keep using that card until they don't have to anymore. That's my prediction in the future.
But they'll never have. But they'll never not have.
Well, I'm sure they're going to complain about the most minute shit. Like, I agree.
Like, because again, like women, like the more you give a woman, the more she wants. Like, you could literally give every single woman like 2 male slaves. Like, build a whole cloning facility just to make male slaves for all women, and they would still complain.
Yeah, they want to have 50. Then they want to have 100.
They'd want to have more, or they'd want to have better.
Yeah, I know. Like, if you give the woman the world, she'll complain about not having the stars. And then it will just keep going, and it will just never end. I agree. I agree with that. But let's go to the next subject, because everything will compile together, chat. No worries. Let me see what's in the chat first, because I know I missed a couple. Where you at? Got a super chat from Ira Myron. He says, "Thanks for streaming tonight, guys. Nah, it's all good. It's all good. No biggie. We just felt like, you know what? Let's talk about this topic today. We got time." The Quack says, "Empower the victimhood." Yeah, what a oxymoron, kind of. What else? Yo, Gem Power is back. What's good? Roderick Sage, stop blaming feminism. This is female nature. I wouldn't really blame female nature as much as feminism. Feminism is the main cause of hypergamy and shit going to hyperdrive.
That's the thing. Like, female nature exists, but it is feminism, which, again, it's primarily supported by men. Like, feminism without men backing it would just be women complaining. Without feminism, then female nature would not be given free reign.
It's like
if you go into the zoo and there's tigers roaming about and they're just like mauling people and eating people willy-nilly, do you blame the tigers, or do you blame the zoo for not having, fences?
I will blame the zoo 1,000,000%. Because once again, you can't blame someone's nature. It is what it is. That's life. Okay? Like, you can't blame a dog for being a dog. You can't blame an iguana for being an iguana.
And even if you could blame it, so what? You can't change it.
Exactly.
It's genetically hard-coded into women to be this way. It would take... I don't even know if you could breed it out of humans through selective genetic engineering or selective breeding. I don't even know if it would be possible to breed it out.
It will be a very long time before anything changes from now into the future, Chad. Like, you gotta... What's up?
At least thousands of years. Because keep in mind, you're talking like bare minimum, like probably 15 years between each generation. It would take hundreds of generations. So you're looking at the scale of thousands of years to maybe get some results.
Yeah, it took thousands of years for the average height to go from 5 foot, was it 5'5" as a man, 5'5", 5'6" to 5'9".
And we don't even know how much of that is nutrition either.
Exactly. Because I'm pretty sure they didn't really have the diet that we have today, the available nutritious food, if you want to call GMO nutritious.
Caloric density.
Yeah. I got a few more super chat. Holy shit, you guys are going off. Okay. Gem Power says, about time to let a brother get paid on YouTube, bro. I've been fighting them for 6 months, man. Each month they had some BS. I deleted more than half of my videos. To like, oh, reuse content. I'm like, oh, whatever. But thank you very much for that donation. And D-Man also, thank you very much for the super sticker. And Michael Simmons says, how long until first responders won't save them? Well, when things become similar of what happened in Chicago. If you guys know what happened in Chicago.
Well, no, they don't.
Nah. It was an all out fucking. It was not good. It was oh, what's up?
Like complete lawlessness, basically.
Yeah, it was complete law. It was wow. Like I have a good buddy of mine that was like near the area of when all that craziness happened. I think it happened for a few days actually, and it was just the light version of Mad Max. It was a light version.
Yeah. So like that's the thing. It basically has to get into a shit hits the fan scenario before first responders won't say. And here's the thing, like even like I'm pretty sure that they'd respond to a female's faster than like a male stress. So there's that element too.
That is true. I agree, but there's only so many of them. You know.
Yeah. So it's like when shit hits the fan will be when the amount of chaos outweighs the amount of first responders.
Exactly. Let me go ahead.
Even then, like maybe they'll respond, but you're going to see slower response time, which will be too late to be effective.
Boom. There we go. And before we continue, chat, once again, you know, I got remonetized, so thank you all for the donations. And on top of that, you can also donate to Cash App /SirYeetus. Okay, you guys are being generous tonight, helping me invest. Cause once again, now that I'm monetized, I got big plans. I'm probably gonna talk to Chaz to see if he wants to be an editor. I'm gonna see if he wants to be an editor and edit a couple videos. Not every video, but just 1 or 2 videos. Because I want to give you guys some quality. So these donations definitely help, chat. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and look at the women most affected. Okay, so I'm sure you guys already know women in the West. They're in general, they're not that good at keeping their legs closed. They're not that good at all. Let's keep it real. All right, it's pretty much. Trusting a woman to be faithful in 2023 in the West is like putting a pit bull in a butcher shop by itself, full of meats, and trust that pit bull will not eat it.
Yeah, it's like it's like putting a pit bull in a kindergarten pen.
Just trust it to just be a good boy. That's not.
Well, let's put you around a whole bunch of 5-year-olds, and like because it's only a matter of time before one of those brats pulls the dog's tail.
So, chat, I know this been happening since the dawn of time, right? This is why virginity is very important to men, all right? Because they know there will be a high chance that they will be the father of their children, right? Biological fathers. All right? Virginity is proof that they have not been touched by another man. But with all the variables of today's technology and sciences, such as, you know, birth control, such as condoms and all this other crazy stuff, and thanks to social media, women, they have choices around the world, not just within their town or city. So infidelity got so bad that is it close to 1/3 of children in the United States are raised by uh pretty much raised by a man that doesn't know that he's not the father.
Yeah, I think it was like 1/3 of paternity tests come back negative.
Yeah,
So
out of the yeah.
so it's fairly safe to assume that 1 in 3 children are not with their biological and don't know.
Agreed. And this is why it's very sus that France has this very, very negative bias towards paternity tests. Let me read this right quick. All right. Looked up France paternity test law, right? Just to give you guys, some context. It says private DNA paternity testing is illegal, including through laboratories in other countries, and is punishable by up to a year in prison and a £15,000 fine. I think that's pound.
Yeah, pound. Yeah.
The French Council.
No, euro.
Euro. See, look, I need to study up on my economics. The French Council of State has described the law's purpose as upholding the French regime of filiation and preserving the peace of families. What a load of bullshit.
Okay, I need to look up that word. Just a second. Filiation. I gotta see the condition or fact of being the child of a certain parent. Judicial determination of the paternity of a non-marital child for the purposes of economic support, a line of descent, derivation. Okay. So upholding the French regime of filiation, preserving the peace of family. So basically what they're saying is we need to maintain the lie that our women are not whole.
Yep.
Even though literally everybody knows that if you want to find the sluttiest women in Europe and who have the freakiest sex, you go to France.
Yeah,
France has long since been the whore capital of Europe.
Think about it, Chad. Think about wherever you are, especially in the United States. Your government's telling you, hey, yo, I know your girl is most likely lying and she's probably been on the carousel for a few years now. But, let's think about the children, okay? Don't worry about what she did. Think about the little boy that you've been raising for the last couple of years. You wanna break that apart, huh? Are you really not gonna step up and be a man and take care of a kid that's not yours? What about the family structure, huh? What about society staying together?
Well, if it's not my kid, it's not my family. So why the fuck should I care?
And then that's why now they say, you know what? Fuck that. Now you don't have a choice. Now you can't carry.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Think about this. Think about this stuff. Okay, a year in prison, €15,000 fine. How much is that? How much is that going to cost? Because here's the thing: you want to get this test before you sign that birth certificate.
That's true.
How much is that kid going to cost you if you raise it? I guarantee you, it's going to be more than €15,000.
No, it's unless it went up. I think it's close to 300,000 today.
Yeah. So even assuming like €2 to the dollar, even paying the highest degree of fine for this is still going to be 1/10 of what it's going to cost you to raise that.
That is true. And yeah, up to a year, that doesn't sound that bad. I can survive a year.
Like kind of depends on what your career field is. But if you're like, hey guys, I got to take a year off to go to prison because I got a paternity test because my wife's.
Yeah, that's pretty much what the case is. And chat, let me let you know right now. And well, I'm sure you already know at this point. The amount of women that are so against paternity testing, it is hilarious. I'm like, why are you so against the test? Oh, you don't trust me? No.
Especially now, like since you're resisting the test, I'm definitely gonna say yeah. No, I definitely don't.
Yeah. Then when you had to break it down, Barney style, of the simple logic, everybody knows who the mother is. Nobody is 100% sure who the father is.
Because I'd like to pull out the whole like, if you've done nothing wrong, you've got nothing to hide.
Yeah, nothing. Why are you being so angry? Why are you being so resistant of me knowing if I'm the dad or not? Like, what's going on here?
Like, would you not want to? Like, because here's the thing: like, does this and it's all wrong, then you know what? You get to hold it over me that I didn't trust you and I was wrong, and that'll be like some sort of guilty leverage that you can bring up for decades on end.
And do you remember the it was a man versus women argument about mandatory paternity testing between black men and black women. I'm pretty sure I posted it up before. But the men are like, okay, the government is supplying a lot of free healthcare to women on various issues. Why do you think the government can't fund mandatory paternity testing? Really? I'm pretty sure they can fund that shit. I'm pretty sure it's not that expensive.
Well, they absolutely could. Like,
but they won't.
Could they technically? Yeah, but then remember, the majority of voters are women and men who simp for women.
But it's just like, why are you so against a man knowing? Like, why are you so angry? Why are you getting so upset? And it's not just, you know, the one or two women. Like, majority of women are literally going. I'm like, wow. So if a man potentially is raising a kid that's not his, giving him resources to a kid that's not his for 18 years, just to find out that he's not the father, and he is definitely not getting back compensation for raising a kid that's not his. So he just got duped. And let's make it even worse. He finds out that he's not the father of the kid. And then somewhere down the line, he's going to have to pay child support for a kid that's not his.
And here's the thing, though. There are men that will do that.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, no. But here's the thing. The women don't want the men that will do that.
They just want the resources. That's it.
No. It's not the resources. Though, like,
what?
The women want the children of men who care about their lineage. They will accept a cup, but they'll never want a cup.
Well, for the most part, it's alpha fucks beta bucks, right? So she'll fuck Chad and Tyrone and get his genes. But
what's the thing? But like she'll fuck Chad and Tyrone and get his gene. But then but that's the thing. It's not like there's a difference between the betas and the cucks. Like the Chad like fucks and leaves the kid behind and is like, yeah, whatever, I got my rocks off. There's probably a kid running around with my name, whatever. But then she wants the beta that she can hook and be like, yeah, I'm tying you to me with someone else's kid, and you're going to pour in extra resources to the both of us.
Which is like insane.
She wants that. But then if that fails, then she will accept the cuck who, like, you know, like that's this, like the single mothers on the dating.
That's true.
Like the single mothers, they will not respect any man that wants to be a part of their family. They want the man, like they want the man for his resources and stability and shit, but they don't want the man.
Well, the bio alone says it all when you read their profile.
Yeah.
I'm done playing games. Me and my kid, we're a package deal.
My kid's my everything, so you're gonna be like fourth place behind like me, the kid, and the dog.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Like, what the fuck? I don't fuck on the first date. Like, I have a 10-date rule or whatever. Like, what? Like, girl, you're close to 40 and you are a single mother. But the man that accepts it, yeah, there's no respecting that man. Automatically, no.
She doesn't respect him, and I almost guarantee you that the man doesn't respect himself.
Exactly. But
like I've never met a man that joined up with a single mother that like just has not had some severe anger issues, or like just mentally has like some severe like self-image issues. Like I've never met a like they'll project confidence, but there's always this insecurity and need to have power, and this deep-seated self-loathing if you can get them to talk.
Shit, mainly because you know, not only the Chad Tyrone she was probably chasing is off doing his own thing with his 15, 20 different girls. She's stuck with this beta dude. And now she resents the fuck out of him because like, oh, I didn't want this guy at the end of my journey. I'm stuck with this guy. So that's what makes her even more angry. You know, it's their choice. Like I'm like I don't feel bad for you whatsoever. You know, you chose this path. You know, it's on them, not me. But Chad, do you see this is another example of no matter what happens to a man that pretty much gets destroyed and his lineage taken away from him? Unless this affects women personally, and they make laws like this. You're not allowed to know if you're the father or not. Ain't that some shit? Think on that, chat. Women most affected. All right, let's go to the next one.
Yeah, it's like it's funny because like all of these are perfectly good reasons like why just not get involved in women. It's like like what would I rather do with my average? Would I rather go out and spend I don't know like maybe $20 in drinks at the bar, like trying to socialize with a whole bunch of landmines for this kind of prize, or would I rather talk on stream with like one of the few sensible males in existence while like working on freaking tabletop miniatures for weekend board?
Yeah, like it really it's sad as fuck. It really is sad these days. And it only gets worse, chat. It only gets worse. Gray, you already know that you and you alone are responsible of what you put in your mouth, pretty much, when it comes to eating.
Yeah.
So, when you're like, this fat phobic shit is like insane. I still can't believe that this little trendy situation is even happening. Let's go ahead and read this right quick. Plus size traveler demands free seats, better accommodations on airlines. All plus size passengers should be provided with an extra free seat or even 2 or 3 seats depending on their size to accommodate their needs and ensure their comfort during the flight.
No.
Oh,
why would the airplane? Why would airlines some of the most sociopathic, pack you in like sardines industry want you to pay the price of one seat and get 2 seats. Period. Like, that's the thing. I don't even care what the reason is. Just period. Why would they sell you 2 seats for the price of one when they could instead pack in 2 people?
And get more money.
Yeah, 2 people, same amount of seats. They can sell the same ticket twice to 2 other people rather than selling 1 ticket to you.
It's the delusion, it's the bratty entitlement, it's the avoidance of accountability 24/7.
Yeah, like should be provided with an extra free seat or even 2 or 3 seats, depending on the set. Okay. She wants up to 4 seats for the price of 1. I don't care what the reason is.
I'm just, it's crazy when you tell them like, maybe you should eat a salad or go on the treadmill. You know, it will help you.
Whatever, they can do whatever the fuck they want to shove their food. Like, nah, bitch. If you need 4 seats, you pay for 4 seats.
But you already know they're going to be like, wah.
Or you pay for like. Or you pay for fucking fat class.
But in 2023,
like there's coach, and then for like first class is like, look, you want fucking like if you want to have all the fucking room to sit around, then you pay for first class seat.
Yeah, but in 2023 you'll be called fat phobic and get canceled and blah blah blah. That's the trend. Women most affected. Well, yes. Businesses losing money just because modern women, especially the 300-pound, I think she's bigger than that, refuses to eat an apple. She refuses to eat an apple or go on. I know, but my point is, instead of taking accountability for her being too fucking big, I doubt she has a medical. Well, I'm sure she has medical conditions now. But I'm just saying, she can go on a 20-minute walk a day or eat less. Sure, she can eat the same foods that she's eating, just eat less. And you don't have to worry about taking over the entire fucking front end of the plane.
No, like there's this one dude, he's been, apparently he got really fat over COVID. And he's thinking doing this physical work's gonna slim him up. And then he tells the story about how one night he ate a whole cake.
An entire cake.
An entire cake, not a slice of cake, a whole cake.
You talking about birthday cake?
No, I don't know. It was not like birthday cake. It was like a proper cake that you would have slices.
Oh, so like the small ones. Okay.
No. It was a proper cake.
Okay, so it was big enough.
Probably 8 slices worth of cake.
So a few thousand calories. No, actually, yeah, a few thousand calories.
A few thousand calories, and you just inhaled the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
In one sitting. And it's like, well, this is why you're fat.
But when you tell them, hey, how about you're good with just a slice or 2? They just go fucking crazy, go nuts, and like, oh, how dare you judge me? You don't know my body.
No, I'm gonna have to be just straight up with them. Look, if you want to lose weight, you're gonna have to just get comfortable with being hungry.
Pretty much.
Like, is it gonna hurt? Yes. Is it gonna suck? Yeah. Are you gonna be irritable? Yeah. Guess what? That's what it takes to lose weight.
Like, are you gonna starve to death? No.
No.
Like, for you, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a minute.
Well, you're gonna have to get used to feeling hungry and not eating. So first thing that I would say, get a fucking hobby. Watching television is not a hobby.
Yes.
If you are not actively doing something with your hands, you're going to be using them to shovel food into your face.
Agreed.
Or drinking it. Because, like, beer, like, I don't have the fucking calorie count for what I'm drinking right now. But, like, a bunch of people drink their fucking calories.
It's easy to down, like, 10 cans of beers if you're like an experienced drinker. That's a good
that's some weak sauce shit. I hear stories about guys who will down a 60 in one night.
I've done that before. It didn't really end well, but that does pack a lot of calories too. I agree.
Like, you drank 60 cans of beer in one night.
Okay, one weekend. Not one night.
That's the thing. Like, Canadians take their beer very serious.
I thought you was talking about liquor.
No. I'm talking 60 cans of beer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
like 2.5, like 5 cases of 12.
Yeah, I will say that's a good
2.5, 2 fours.
Yeah, that's a good little over 10,000, I think it is, or close to it.
Shit.
I think it's bigger than that. Let me see. Let me do the math right quick. What's the beer you usually drink? Let's say.
Yeah, right now I'm drinking red ale, 5.2%, 473 milliliters.
All right.
Watch if someone's able to dox me based on this craft brew.
I'm assuming it's Irish red ale, or
sure.
Yeah, let's say that. All right. And let's say in one time. So okay, quick maths. Yep, I was right. I was right on the money. That's a little over 10,000 calories.
To drink 60 of those?
Yeah, and you're saying in one day, like that's.
I hear the occasional story about severe alcoholics, and yeah, apparently this one dude will put away 60 of these in a day.
Yeah, that is insane. Jesus. God damn. So yeah, once again, she definitely doesn't, in my opinion, she doesn't really have an excuse per se, because I also know people that eat thousands and thousands of calories a day, mainly because, you know, they're way bigger, and on top of that, they are very active. I'm like you can eat whatever you want, fuck it, but why can't you just do something, you know?
No, well, that's the other thing too, is like, there's a certain amount of like effort that you can put in throughout the day. Like, but there's only so many hours in the day. Eventually, it doesn't matter how much you're working out. You're still like you can still out eat however much you work out. I've heard this before. You can't out exercise a bad diet.
Well, that's another thing. You're just lazy at that point. I'm talking about this woman right here, because the highest I've ever eaten was 3,200 calories a day.
Oh yeah, like you look at her, you guarantee she is not going for a jog anywhere. Her ankles will snap.
Yeah, her cankles will get all swollen and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Like, she probably is breathing heavy by the time she walks out the front door and gets to her vehicle.
God damn.
Like, she calls an Uber, and by the time she gets to the Uber, she's breathing heavy.
Take me to Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, like I know guys who are like freaking half to a third her weight. But I'd say like half to 2/3 of her weight. Active guys, because they're working in the trade. They're breathing heavy and sweating sometimes, just like getting around. And it's like, motherfucker, you did not like jog before you got here, and we haven't gotten to work. What the fuck you doing breathing heavy?
Yeah, I'm at least at my peak fitness. I'm breathing heavy after little over 2 miles. Like when I go on jogs. After 2 miles, that's when I start feeling it. But just walking around, that's bad. That's very bad. You need to go to a doctor.
No, you need to like put away like 1,000 fewer calories a day. That's what fucking.
Then you go on 600 pounds life. My 600 pounds life, yeah.
They ain't even 600 pounds. They're like in the 250, something like that. They're like Louis C.K.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Let me read these super chats right quick because I know you guys are going fucking crazy with these chats. Lord Messiah Disciple, another sticker. $2 donation. Thank you very much, man. On top of that, I got Gem Power. He says, eat less, move more. Yeah, that's the most easy formula anybody can, like a caveman can do it, right? You know, the Geico commercial.
They can understand it. Like the instructions are incredibly simple. It's just fucking buy less shit. Don't eat out. There's all sorts of little decisions that you can make, but it's primarily remove the temptation. It's hard to tell somebody to not eat a cake when there's a major cake in it. And like, this is the other thing. Like if you, again, because this primarily happens with relationships. But like if you are in a diet on the house and the other person in the house isn't, and they put a cake in the fridge, you're more likely to eat that cake than if there's no cake in the fridge to begin.
Agreed. Temptation.
Yeah, like you're going to get home, well, and then the other half, like when I see the women who get this big, normally there is a man in their life who is feeding them these thousands of calories.
The enablers.
Yeah.
Because they can't say no because they have no backbone. They can't tell the truth. They're on that. It's cheaper to keep her. Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, like let's be honest. Look at that woman. Do you think she can wipe her own ass?
No. No. Like I'll guarantee you, it's beyond difficult, or she needs assistance.
There is a caregiver in her life, either a man or someone paid by a man,
or
fucking wipe her ass,
or her mom or whatever. Because I've seen that 600-pound life show where the mom helps out as well, or enables. I mean, there's another super chat. Let me go ahead and address that. It's from The Art of Will, generous donation. He says, "Congrats on being monetized. Yes, it has been a long time coming. Okay, a long time coming. Now that I'm monetized again, I got big plans, very big plans. Do you have any final thoughts before we move to the next topic?"
Nah, I said a piece here.
Chat. Even when she is solely accountable of what she puts in her body, she still expects society to, especially men, to accept that and expect companies or society in general to accommodate with her fuck ups. I wouldn't say fuck up. Her bad choices, her bad decisions. She doesn't want.
I have no.
What's up?
I have no impulse. Basically, summarized as I have no impulse control. Give me free shit.
Yeah, and if you don't, you're fat phobic. I know it sounds crazy, doesn't it, chat? Let's go ahead to the next topic. Where we at? We at 5. We go to the next one. Wrong one. Okay. There we go. So here's where it gets fucking hilarious. We already know about this, chat. We already know about this. But I've noticed that we shouldn't be surprised, but more and more of these type of things are showing up on social media of middle-aged women, older women, giving their sob stories or being all mopey and sad of the situation that they put themselves. Because I guarantee you, she had plenty of choices when she was 20, 18, 23. I guarantee you there was a man chasing her.
I guarantee you that there's a man who would take her now.
Agreed. But you already know. I guarantee you she's still in her fairy tale, Prince Charming's gonna swoop in and, we're gonna ride off into the sunset. That type of BS. And they don't want to face reality. They don't want to face reality. How are you going to be mad about the situation when you created the rules? You created the dating market today. That's you. Instead of being content or focusing on relationships while you were young, get married, not hopping from Chad and Tyrone, Pookie and Ray Ray. You definitely will not be in this mess. How are you going to, at almost 40, beg God to fix all your problems? What's up?
Yeah. Please help me, God. Smacks her with a Bible. You have had decades to read this.
Please, God, show me a sign. I guarantee you, she had plenty of men chasing after her when she was younger. Hell, I would say she had plenty of men chasing her when she was 30.
She's probably still got plenty. Like, sure. Like, they're in their 50s, maybe.
Like,
she's got to deal with men, like, old enough to be your dad, maybe, but... And here's the thing, is like no child, not in serious relationship, like... That's the other. Like, the guys that will still... Like, I'm pretty sure I know some guys that... Like, they'd seriously consider hitting.
Yeah, they would. Like, young dudes treat her as a target practice.
Oh, God. Again, it's like fucking... Like, what happened to the fucking moped girls being the ones that you don't want to admit?
I don't know, bro. I really don't know. I'm just saying, it's just hilarious. Like, you already know how women, they love to, or modern women, they love to dismiss any type of facts or statistics that we put on the table of, by 2030, almost half you guys, you're not going to be married.
Honestly, this past couple weeks, I'm seriously just convinced that women, like, that they want something to be miserable about. Like, you can spew facts and information in their face to make them feel reassured. And they'll still, like, stress over shit and complain about it. And it's like, I told you shit was going to be fine. I gave you evidence that shit was going to be fine. You can verifiably see that shit is going to be fine. And then you hear, like, oh, they've been really stressing about this. It's like, what am I supposed to do? Can't make them happy. Can't calm them down. They want to be stressed.
I think that's pretty much the case. Because I know they want to blame their relationship failures on, I had a troubling childhood. Oh, my father wasn't around and blah, blah, blah. Listen, regardless, I guarantee you there was a good amount of good men her way when she was younger. I don't believe that she did not have options. I don't believe it. See, and this is for modern women in general, if you're at least average looking, right? At least average looking. If you're below average, okay, I can somewhat understand. A little bit. But if you're at least average looking and you're 39 years old, that you have no kid, you're not married, you have no man, maybe you should blame the person that you look at in the mirror every day.
Because I guarantee you, there's a 39-year-old fat dude who will take that thing.
That's true. Like, hey, she'll have a man. That man will possibly, put a ring on it. And if he's able to, he'll give you a child. Boom, problem solved.
Yeah.
But no, she deserves a
Jason
Robert
Momoa.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth. Uh, who's that one dude that plays Superman?
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, I deserve that only. Like, you really think?
Henry Cavill won't chase me. Henry Cavill would have never chased.
Oh, not even close. Not even close. I'm like, you really think dudes of that caliber are looking your way? Like, come on, bro. Come on. Not only Henry Cavill has the looks of a Hollywood movie star. Not only he's fit, not only he has money. He is smart as fuck, and he's a gaming nerd.
He
I
plays
think he's more.
The dude apparently collects Adeptus Custodi. I have Adeptus Custodies. It's like, brother,
Yeah.
like, bitch, I have a better chance of forming a friendship with Henry Cavill than you do forming a relationship with him. Because I could at least play a game of Warhammer 40k with him.
So,
And he's also a fan of The Witcher. Like,
he is.
The thing like, man, there's bigger fucking nerds than me that would be even more qualified. But I got more in common with Henry Cavill than you.
Okay, would you say, okay, let me explain it, because it's going to be kind of, So, the failure of keeping a conservative society, or how you would say a religious society, is pretty much the downfall of relationships in general, because it goes back to the ancient days where, since monogamy wasn't that much of a big deal, majority of the women back then went for the strongest men, and only so many of them are able to capture that man. So there's a bunch of lonely men and a bunch of lonely women at the end.
Well, here's the thing. It's more so that, like, if you have two societies, one harem-based and the other monogamy-based, the monogamy-based society is going to have more men invested. Here's the thing. Like imagine you had two countries next to each other. Let's say two kingdoms. Let's go way back. One was monogamy-based, one was harem-based. I guarantee you that the majority, like, since most men in the harem society aren't going to have a woman, they're going to go over to the monogamy-based society.
Agreed.
Like, they will pack up their shit and fucking leave. Because they have better odds of getting a wife in a monogamy-based society than the harem-based.
So, would you say the harem-based one is unable to maintain a society long term?
Yeah, like that. Like, they can they have a society? Sure, but it's not going to last. It's going to be a very fragile society because most men aren't going to be invested.
Agreed. I'm pretty sure back then, you know, there was the true definition of incel, where they truly couldn't get a woman because all those women are way more focused on trying to get the big dog or dogs.
Yeah. Not like, I think one example would probably be ancient China. And because I believe that they had a lot of like harems, especially with the nobility.
Right.
And they repeatedly went to fucking war over and over and over. Like, it was fucking unification and then civil war and then unification and then civil war. It was constantly breaking apart and then reunifying under a warrior and then breaking apart and fighting.
Yeah, I've actually learned about that on the what was that one video? History of the World, I guess.
Yeah, history of the world. Yeah, but then on the other hand, you have the Abrahamic religion, particularly Christianity.
Yeah,
that shit spread like fucking wild.
Yeah, when Christianity happened, all the pagan religions is just started to disappear like Houdini.
And that's the and like you it'd be like, like Christianity conquering imperialism. It's like, look, if you're going to get an imperialist conquering religious movement, you're gonna need a whole lot of invested men.
Agreed.
Like, if you are just fucking free hippie love, anybody can fuck anybody, guess what? You're not gonna get as many invested men, and then you're gonna lose when a religion or society with more invested men comes knocking on your fucking door.
Yeah, like in the end, I truly believe uncontrolled hypergamy is bad for just society. Just society won't last long. If you just have a bunch of women just running amok, they can do whatever they please, and there's no accountability on them. So it's pretty much handing a 10-year-old a flamethrower running through the forest and like, hey, good luck.
Yeah, and here's the thing though, it's not necessarily that one needs religion for this. All it needs is a cultural institution of power. Theoretically, like, monogamy could be something that a king would put forth, theoretically.
Right.
But then you get issues with the nobility and needing to, like, have a genetic lineage. So, like, they usually end up wanting a harem of some kind, so they try to make themselves the exceptions to the rule.
Well, yeah, he is the king, you know.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying because, like, once again, you know, without a monogamous culture, it's automatically going to be a population collapse, and soon after society is done, because population is crucial. Like that's why. And you already know this, but I'm saying this for the chat. That's why various Western countries around the world are begging men to have families right now. They're begging men. They're trying to give quote unquote incentives to men to marry these feminists and have babies with these feminists. But we see through their bullshit.
Yeah, it's like the main thing is like y'all can't import fast enough, and it's like, well, yeah, we can import, but we finally realized after decades that they're not spending their money locally. They're sending all their money out of here. So it doesn't matter how much we import, the money doesn't enter into the government tax.
Agreed. Because was it Scotland or was it Sweden that had a big issue of Filipino women coming to the country as wives and stuff, you know?
Well, yeah, I think Sweden.
I think it was Sweden, yeah. All the women outcry, right? Women most affected. How dare they? Even though we rejected them a million times, how dare they go out there and get married elsewhere? And I'm like,
but here's the thing: is like, the women bitch, but from the government perspective, like, because here's the thing: if you bring a foreign bride into your country to stay there, your money is, by and large, going to stay there. Because it's going to be spent on that family. If you bring in men from overseas, they're going to send their money back home to their family.
Agreed. Oh, yeah, I agree. I've seen it all the time. All the time, especially in the military. You got people that are trying to get green cards, so they join the military as a process, and more than half of their funds get sent back home. So I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, you see it all the bloody time, and it's like, you are not going to stimulate the economy enough with immigration if even 50%, to say nothing if it's not more like 90% of the money from the local economy gets sent overseas.
I agree.
Like, this is actually a bit of a fun fact about Vietnam. You actually need approval from the government to send money out of the country.
Oh, okay. Smart move.
Like legit, they are very like tight with like where their money gets.
Well,
And if this is actually another thing too. Like if you're a Vietnamese citizen and you go overseas and get an education, if you come back, there's a damn good chance that you will not be allowed to leave.
well, I'm not surprised because their money, their economic power isn't that great. So,
No. So that's the thing. So they need to keep a close eye on their money, and they need to prevent a brain drain.
Yeah,
because this is what often happens with Canada, where like the best and brightest of Canada, they usually got bought up by the U.S. Now we're seeing the best and brightest of the U.S. get bought up by China.
agreed. But that's the like the biggest situation. I'm like, none of this wouldn't be that big of an issue if the woman in that country didn't have all this uncontrolled hypergamy, thinking that she deserves the best of the best. Like, majority of women wants a small selection of men, and they don't realize that majority of the women are not going to win. There's only going to be that select few women that is able to successfully capture a Chad Tyrone. That's successful.
But they always think it's them.
Right.
Every single woman thinks that she's the main character and that she's the one that's going to pull off the ultimate story, be the ultimate underdog, because she's the most specialist woman.
I will say it's because probability versus possibility. You know, women have that mindset. Yeah, that mindset of, oh, you know, even if it's a 0.0001% chance, you telling me is a chance? Like, are you serious, woman? Like,
yeah, that the same way for stressors. Like, if you say like, look, it would take several disasters happening in tandem for things to go badly. And they're like, so you're saying things can go badly, huh? Like,
and we tell men countless times, men, we don't have the luxury, we can't afford to think in possibilities, because unlike modern women, we pay the consequence of making the wrong mistake. And I ain't talking about just any consequence, severe consequences.
Well, actually, like this is something that I mentioned to other guys.
What's up?
Like when you have to make, like when you're forced to make a decision, what you do is you think, what are the negative outcomes for being wrong for both of these decisions? And then you pick the one with the negative consequences that you can most accept.
You know what? Yeah, I agree. Calculated risk.
That's the thing. Like, just assume that no matter what decision you're going to make, you're going to be wrong, and just go with the negative consequences you can accept.
Yeah, because at times in life, you're going to have to pick your poison. Is it worth it? And then you could just go for it.
Because if you have the option between like losing a couple hours of sleep or losing thousands of dollars in damages, like I'm gonna lose the couple hours of sleep to prevent losing the thousands of dollars.
Agreed. Another example. Just accept being late for work to catch up on sleep, or you're gonna lose money. If you want to catch up on sleep, you're gonna lose money. But if you just go to work, you're gonna be tired, or you might make a mistake.
Oh, and here's the other thing: like, be late for work or catch a speeding ticket. Because like being a half hour late for work versus losing like over an hour's worth of pay because you were speeding, and that would be at the low end for speeding ticket.
I completely agree. Uh, but do you have anything else to say about this one? Because we did go in on her.
Yeah. Nah, I'm good.
All right, let's move on to the next topic. Let's go. So this self-centeredness, the narcissism, the what's that one word that starts with the S? Where they're pretty much only worried about themselves. No, the philosophy. Solo. Hold up.
Nothing's coming to mind.
Solipsism.
Solipsism.
Yeah, solipsism. Yeah. Like this is peak. Solip. I can't even say the word, but you guys know what I'm talking about. This is just peak. It's peak that it gets to the point where women are like, oh, why are men always why are women living longer than men? Yeah, that's kind of strange. I wonder why that's happening. Meanwhile, look what happened in the Titanic.
Yeah, like women, you live longer than men because, like, it's not because you do less stupid shit as these memes so often try to make it look like. It's like, no, because men literally sacrifice for you to continue to survive in comfort.
Exactly. And on top of that, men fight in 99.99999% of wars that are fought in 99.999 of the wars are fought by men. Like, and then they wonder why women live longer than men. Oh,
Yeah, like, we take the dangerous work with the highest mortality rate.
exactly. And then there's a bunch of simps and white knights coming in to save the day and get killed in the process.
Like, it's fucking eye-opening when you hear that trade jobs have a higher casualty rate than police work.
Yeah, it is actually. It is. Like not too many people are able to. Well, not too many women, in my opinion, can't comprehend how difficult blue collar jobs are, depending on what you do. It is, especially working at the oil rigs. Whoo, that is dangerous.
Oh yeah, let's think like oil rig. Although oil rigs are one thing, just doing like construction work in general, like locally, has a fairly high fatality.
Exactly. And
anything where you work at heights, especially anything working at heights has a high fatality.
Yeah, you gotta climb all those towers and stuff.
Oh. No, that's the thing. I'm not even talking towers. Like, I'm talking like just being like 2 stories off the ground.
Yeah.
Or even 1 story off the ground. Something.
Yeah, mainly construction and all this other crazy stuff. Yeah, I agree.
And then there was one story I heard, like this dude, like on the ground, like he was using like one of those rock saws. Shit jumped up and turned him into a Pez dispenser.
Oh, just out of nowhere, it's just like a freak accident.
Yeah, freak accident. Like I think he might have been like left-handed on a right-handed tool or something, but yeah, just jumped up and turned him into a Pez dispenser.
And let's not get started on the mining jobs.
Yeah.
They eventually get some type of respiratory issues or cancer, breathing in all that all those dust and stuff.
Again, like you've got high concentration of dust in an enclosed space.
Yes.
That shit ain't good for your lungs.
And let us not forget about the simps and white knights getting killed trying to be a simp and white knight.
Yeah. Like those guys at like the Dark Knight shooting. Like I think it was like 3 to 5 guys there were on like dates with girls that they'd been with for less than a month, and they all fucking gave up their lives so that their girlfriends at the time could get away.
Right. And another example. Remember the big story of the shooting of the premiere of the Dark Knight?
Yeah, that's the one I was just saying.
Oh, you were just saying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Men are the one that were covering the girlfriends, chat. They're the ones that were protecting the girlfriends. All the girls lived. All the dudes died. Why women always live longer than men? Like let's use our big brain here. Let's critical think. uh
Yeah,
and why
let's just take a simple survey. Hey men, how many of you are willing to die for a woman? Hey women, how many of you are willing to die for a man? Guaranteed, by orders of magnitude, more men are willing to die for a woman.
Yeah, guaranteed. And remember the quote of Hillary Clinton, chat, where they said that women are the true casualties of war, something like that, or true victims of war.
Yeah, because like they can feel the emotional pain. They have to bear the emotional burden.
What a slap in the face! Like honestly,
you know what? Here's the thing, ladies. If that's so hard on you, how about some Canadian health care if you think it's so much nicer to be dead?
How about go to the VA? If that's such a big, because I guarantee you, I can walk by majority of the male veterans that are missing a limb, missing an eye, literally have robot arms and legs, have psychiatric problems because PTSD from war. But according to Hillary Clinton, former Secretary of Defense, women are the victims of war. That's not what I seen in Ukraine. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying. What I saw was a bunch of Ukrainian women and children crossing over to various countries of Western Europe and hopping up on Tinder and all these other dating websites, already stripping off their clothes looking for the next man, while their husbands and their boyfriends, they're not even cold. Their bodies are still warm from being exploded or shot. I'm serious. I'm like no fucking joke.
No. As bold of you to assume that there's even bodies to be cold and not like mist and shrapnel.
Well, yeah, but you get the gist of what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's just funny because I remember, because I've seen some footage of like a Russian tank pulling up on a bunch of Ukrainian soldiers. They think that it's one of their tanks, and it point blank blasts like 5 dudes out of existence.
Yeah, I saw that video. Just think about that, chat. I'm not even joking. You can look up articles right now. There are bodies that weren't even buried yet. They're riding in the middle of the field, of the combat zone, and there's already a bunch of Ukrainian girls busting it wide open on day naps. But they're the victims? Come on, Hillary Clinton, come on. But remember, chat, I'm gonna repeat it over and over again. It does not matter what the hell happens to men unless women are affected directly, which is the point of the title, Women Most Affected. They don't give a fuck unless women directly are affected. It's a hard truth to swallow. I know.
Now, actually, I think here's probably the most recent one. Well, maybe not the most recent, but a far more recent example. The female to male who shot up a whole bunch of kids.
Yeah.
They expressed more concern for misgendering the XX than they did for the dead.
Oh yeah, I did share that meme. I did share that. It It definitely made my blood boil when I first read about that. I'm like, are you out of your fucking? They are out of their minds. No, it's a rhetorical question at that point. Like, come on, bro. Kids dead. And you worry about misgendering the murderer, the mass murderer?
Yeah. No, like so far as I'm concerned, any one of those freaking like rainbow flags now may as well just have a whole bunch of blood splashed on it.
Oh yeah, and June is coming up. I guarantee you it's gonna get more ridiculous this year.
Oh yeah.
You should be seeing nothing but rainbow on every channel, on every social media, on every fucking commercial. Like it's gonna get even crazier.
Yeah. Now the only one of those flags that I would consider remotely acceptable is one where it has a big old blood stain splashed on it.
It's that's a whole different conversation because I can go in about that for the next hour. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's like a Rumble or Odyssey exclusive. Right
yeah, because I have a lot to say about that stuff. But do you have anything to say to this topic? Anything to leave?
Nah, just like I'm always annoyed with these memes implying that men die early because they do stupid shit.
Yeah, gotta love those stereotypes, right? Even though it's not really stupid things we do, it's necessary for society to function.
now, do men do stupid things? Sure. Yeah, men do stupid shit. And that's how we learn to not do stupid shit. But the majority of male casualties is not doing stupid shit. It is doing dangerous work.
Yeah, because who else is going to do it?
Or, self-termination due to despair.
That as well. Who else is going to do the dangerous jobs? Smarter women? You?
y'all exactly ain't exactly. None of y'all are inventing the robots to take the burden off of men.
Exactly. I completely agree. But before we get to the last topics, last show of the night, if you want to support your boy Sirius, link on top of the chat, Cash App /Sirius, or since I've been newly monetized, you can super chat. Any donation is appreciated. If you feel that I'm worthy of your investment, thank you very much. Let's go ahead to the next topic. Because I'm on 8, so I have like 2 more to talk about. So it's gotten that bad. And I showed this before. I've shown this before. But I'm going to read it again. Just so you guys are emphasized. This is the mindset of these radical feminists today. Society will be better off as a whole if more women were willing to engage in justified violence against men. To that end, women justified violence against men should be encouraged, protected, and publicized. I guarantee you she's a big fan of Me Too.
Right.
And we talked about that woman earlier when she was on that one interview when she said that, she's glad that men are terrified of women.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Guess what? I agree with the third option specifically. I want it published. I want it to be fucking front page news every time a woman commits violence against a man.
I agree. I want it to spread as far as possible because we already have like countless evidence, right? Have you noticed, Gray, that as the years go by, the more bold they get?
Oh yeah, like RPM has like straight up added a whole other series of videos on women doing just batshit crazy stuff.
Just the craziest stuff, just because they feel like they can and they want to, and who's gonna stop me? Because she knows Nobody's really gonna hold her accountable. And if she was held accountable, it's pretty much gonna be a slap on the wrist. So the encouragement of violence against men, see, is a gigantic spectrum of justified violence, because I'm pretty sure she means that in a subjective sense.
Yeah, she only says justified to cover her ass.
Right. It is definitely not helping. Like, at least to people that
that's the thing. Like justified to her is just the woman feels like it's just.
Right. And you already know, chat. Feelings are fleeting. And women primarily base their decisions on emotions, and emotions change every second of the day. Just think on that. They already have their foot in the water. I wouldn't even say toes. They have their foot in the water. Give it a few more years, they're definitely going to be taking the whole dive. If we make it that far. Let's go to the next one. Where is it? It's 10? Was it 9? Hold up. I'm sure you guys remember this story from last year. I woke up to her hand in my pants. TikTok star Jack Wright, 18, accuses influencer Sienna May, 18, of sexually assaulting him 4 times, once by groping him while he was passed out. She says he's slut shaming her. Ain't that about a bitch? What do you have to say about that, Gray?
The usual, just try flipping the gender. The dude with video evidence assaulted a woman while she was sleeping. While she was sleeping, is like, he would be canceled immediately and jailed.
Yeah, and I'll be shocked if he survives jail. You know, being a sex offender and they have video proof of it. Oh, good luck. Good luck. She made, I think, 2 videos, but I think one of them she really tried to justify her actions. This is what I mean, chat. This is the consequence of women truly not being held accountable.
And the only reason that she's even admitting to it is because there's video evidence. Otherwise, she'd deny the whole.
Oh, in fact, she will probably do a Uno reverse card.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you came on to me? Oh, man, I mean, like, I came on to you? No, you came on to me. And no one's going to believe you because you're a man. But video evidence in 4K, which is why I say, chat, and whenever you're in the room with a girl, with a woman, especially alone, make sure you record. Make sure you record. Even I don't care if it's
not even alone. Like, look, there's dudes. I'm pretty sure it's a dude right beside him, just letting that shit happen.
I'm pretty sure when that happened, if I remember the video, he just walked away. I'm like, what? What are you doing? You should be shoving this bitch up. I don't know. If that was
guaranteed, like if that dude was there and a dude was assaulting a girl beside.
Yeah. Right? He saw it.
He'd be white knighting that to hell in that.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, if that was a homie of mine, I'm pushing her to a different dimension. Like, that's sick as fuck. Like, I'm really tired of, oh, sex is all what men want. Well, it's that way because that's all you women can offer.
Like that's the only reason men interact with you, because that's all you're good for.
Exactly. That doesn't mean do it against his will. Like, look, you okay. Modern women love to screech and to the stars and shake into the sky like rape culture is real. Like rape culture is real. Like it's real. These men are just sick perverted dogs. But then they turn around and do this. And now we have countless female teachers messing around with little boys.
1,000 a year.
Yeah, around 1,000, which is insane. But nobody bats an eye. Nobody bats an eye. In fact, a lot of them don't even get jail time.
Yeah, and then like when you try to tell guys about it, they're like, "Ooh, nice. I wish my teacher done that to me."
Which is, I think, it is just a bunch of desperate, horny simps.
Yeah.
Because, no, I would not want my teacher to do that shit to me. That's fucking gross. That is weird, especially a child at a certain age. There's a reason there's a age limit for consent. Their brains are not fully developed. They truly don't understand the severity of the consequences they will face. They don't know. That's why a couple of stories that we went through in previous streams, there's a kid that's 13 that got raped by this 31-year-old woman, got pregnant by him, able to keep the child, no jail time. And soon enough, I guarantee you, when that child becomes of age, he will be paying child support. And I guarantee you, that 13-year-old boy didn't even think that far ahead. There's age of consent for a reason. Like the fuck? Like this is insane. It is insane. Like I said before, it's always about women most affected. Even when women in today's society doing the most atrocious shit and caught in 4K, it's all about how the woman feels. Not even a 13-year-old boy, how he felt being taken advantage of. I don't know. It makes my blood hot. It makes my blood hot.
I think it'd be funny though. The next time, like, there's video evidence of a man assaulting a woman, just be like, "Why are you slut shaming this guy?"
Boy, you'll have a mob at your door so quick. No.
I mean, like what? You'd find it acceptable for a woman assaulting a man? What's the problem here? Aren't they?
I see what you say. If the genders were reversed, I agree. But goddamn,
you know, like that whole Philadelphia train thing. Like, why are we slut shaming that?
Oh, that would be very fucking bad. Very bad. You know, like it just got to the point where chat. Whether you're new to my channel or not, you have to understand. We've been talking about this since I think early 2000s. I think that's when the MRA started to come up. That was around there. But it really gained traction around 2013. 2013. That's when, you know, the red pill philosophy started to come about. And then the men going your own way philosophy coming about. Cause are you serious? No matter how many times we voice our concerns, voice our complaints about how men, and I'm gonna say boys, are being completely fucking mistreated in society today, it always ends with women most affected. Always. So are they really shocked that men are saying, you know what, fuck this shit, I'm out? Of course you're shocked, because they expect men to stay as wage slaves.
Like that's the thing. Like, they never expected men to be able to adjust their behavior according to the new rules. They
Agreed.
expected men to continue and continually take the beatings. It's like, again, it's like we use the minefield metaphor.
Yep.
Like, you increase the number of mines in the minefield, and then we're surprised when fewer people tried to cross the minefield.
Yep, and and they're just yelling at you in your face like, "Why won't you cross the goddamn field? Only 98 out of 100 of these mines are going to explode. Why are you being such a bitch? Walk through that field right now." And you're like, "Fuck no, I'm not doing it."
Like, why would I walk across the minefield to go to the river when I could just dig a hole here and go for some well?
Right. So like, why can I go around? Why do I have to like walk through it? Don't question it. Go through the field right now, you wage slave. Like, oh, okay.
Like, hey, this one dude made it across the minefield by laying out a very specific path. Yeah, I'm gonna follow that very specific path that a minesweeper laid out for me, rather than, just try to go for it and hope for the best.
And then you just hear them screeching, "Hey, where are you going? How dare you go your own way?" And that's what's happening in society today. Like there's literally it's a lose-lose situation for men in the West. It is, because if it gets to the point where the feds are trying to put this philosophy as some extremists on par with Al Qaeda and shit.
I mean,
come on.
Hey, here's the thing, though. At the very least, they gave Al Qaeda a shit ton of fire.
Yeah, and they're able to keep their Twitter profile.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, it's treated worse than Al Qaeda.
Way worse. Just because we're telling you, man, hey, you don't have to deal with the bullshit that society's throwing at you. People want to talk about, oh, Matrix this, Matrix that. You guys are hilarious. You'd be surprised how much of a Matrix we're in right now, and there's too many people. You're trying to be Neo and shit, and the government ain't trying to have that to happen. Like, they don't. If they lose the men, if the men put down their sword and shield and just walk away, how is society going to function at that point? It won't.
It's already falling apart, and that's just with a tiny percentage of men deciding to go a little more minimalist.
Yeah, and all us men are asking for is, hey, how about treat us with some respect? How about that? How about make laws that are more fair towards men? Oh, you extremists, how dare you? Get back to work, you wage slave. Like, no, I don't think so.
That's the thing. Like, well, basically, it's gotten to a Bud Light level of terminal. Like, it doesn't fucking matter at this point. Any olive branch that they put out right now, it's just basically going to get the same guys that were only one blowjob away from the pint.
Agreed. I completely agree with that.
Like, the guys that are just throwing a fucking temper tantrum. But now, like, most guys, they're like, check that, and they're like, nah, fuck this. Fuck this. Not worth it.
And like, you think that men are gonna stop talking about this? Like, this officially went mainstream. Hell, I know eventually they might have to change up the wording in the future if they want to stay on the platforms. But men are not gonna stop talking about this. This is only gonna get bigger. It's not gonna. This is a train with no brakes at this point.
Like, all you'll do is like drive it like off of, like, maybe you'll drive it off of YouTube, but there's multiple alternatives now. Like, there's like Big Town TV, Odyssey, Rumble, the Big Town Mirror Archive project. Like,
agreed.
Like, this stuff is being recorded and archived, backed up, put onto alt tech. All you need to do is just point people in the right direction. I mean, heck, worst case scenario, it'll be a freaking Tor link if the domain itself gets wiped for whatever reason. And we'll start moving on to the dark web.
Yeah, and Rumble is consistently upgrading their servers and stuff because of how big they had to do a huge jump because of the Andrew Tate situation, of course. But they're still upgrading their servers to this day. They're getting bigger and bigger.
Honestly, I should probably copy my stuff over to Rumble.
Yeah,
I don't have a presence there.
Yeah, I need to do the same thing. Not gonna lie, I have an account. I just haven't did the copying stuff, or did I? I don't remember. But I have one more to look at. And this is from the late, the great, the Godfather, the true Godfather, Patrice O'Neal. Do you agree with this quote, Gray? I generally don't like living in a world where being what a man is a horrible thing, and no matter what a woman is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I don't like living in a world like that.
But unfortunately, I will say with the utmost confidence, we're at that point.
Oh yeah.
Actually,
no, we're there.
Yeah.
Like we're there, and like personally, I'd switch out the word "world" for "society" because, like,
I'm sure that's what he was trying to say.
Yeah.
So I generally don't like living in a society where being what a man is a horrible thing, and no matter what a woman is a wonderful thing. Like, that's one of the most base shit that I've ever read so far. And once again, chat, this was back in late 2000s. Like, he seen this shit from a mile away. He wasn't afraid to speak his mind on this. I love it. And he made it funny. But there's at times where he has to keep it real. And this is literally where we at. I guarantee you, Patrice O'Neal will have a field day of what's going on in 2023. His presence will be so big it's not even funny. I will say he will literally be the king of comedy. Because he's one of the only voices that speaks on behalf of men. Like, what are you gonna do? Get mad at a comedian? Like, okay.
Yeah, of course, you know, of course.
Oh yeah, but it's not gonna work. If it didn't work on Dave Chappelle, it's definitely not gonna work on Patrice O'Neal. They tried to. I know they tried to cancel Dave Chappelle, but Dave Chappelle's like, I don't give a fuck. Oh man, it's just, this is something that I could easily have a poster in my room, because this is literally how I would say majority of men. This is how they're feeling right now in Western society.
And like, don't matter who I am or what I do, I'm considered horrible. And here's the dangerous thing about a society that operates like that.
What's that?
Well, it's the in for a penny, in for a pound mentality. So here's the thing. If you knew that you were going to serve the exact same amount of jail time for assault and murder, what motive do you have to not commit murder over assault?
That's true. If you're saying you serve the same amount of time,
same sentence, exact same sentence.
If I am that mad enough, yeah, I would definitely go the latter. Yeah, I'm like, it's the same thing. Like, whatever. Yeah. Actually, I don't even have to be mad.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, if you're mad enough to commit assault, then you may as well go all the way. Now, here's the thing. If you live in a society where it doesn't matter whether you're a good man or a bad man, you are a man, therefore you are bad, what motivation do you have to be good?
You don't. You have no motivation whatsoever. And right now, as you see, it doesn't have a big effect yet, but it's getting there. That women are starting to like really complain about men just not giving a fuck anymore. Like we,
Well, exactly. That's the thing. Like men have stopped caring. Like shame does not work on more and more men. Every day, another man does not give a fuck about what people think about.
and would you say that's why they were screaming their heads off about the passport bros? Because like
Yeah,
men just don't give a damn.
precisely. That's exactly it. Men stopped caring, and that used to be enough. But now men are like, no, look, like I do everything that you tell me to do, and you tell me I'm a piece of shit. So why would I do what you told me to do? I may as well do the shit that pisses you off because you're still going to call me the exact same names, but at least I'm happy.
Exactly. Exactly. There's no incentives whatsoever. There's none. So why would I even care? Why would I even bother? I'm just gonna do me. I'm just gonna do my own thing. And not just the workplace, but just what's happening in society in general. Like men are just like screw the dating part. Like are you trying to hook up or nah? No? All right. I'm not buying you a drink. I'm just gonna drink with the boys. Like I'm just gonna have a good time then. Like it doesn't matter to me. Like damned if you do, damn if you don't.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get no societal perks for having a woman in my life. Why the fuck would I bother?
Exactly. And I already know that, the parents are gonna put even more pressure on me as time goes by. But I'm gonna make sure they understand that unless I mingle with a foreign chick that isn't infected with feminism, sorry, bye bye.
That's the thing. Like, very, very simple offer. You you wanna you wanna pick where and when you pay for it.
Yep.
You want the kid. Okay, fine. You pay for it. You can pick the woman. I'll jizz in a cup and as many times as is necessary. You want a grandkid? You pay for the whole thing. I'll give you the fucking sperm donation.
Eldridge says, I can't find the CDC new birth rate numbers. Are they hiding it? I wouldn't be surprised.
If you're, well, it depends on your search engine. Like, I use Brave. Like Google tends to suppress things.
I don't know, man. It's just that I'm like, I know there's a lot of sane men out there that are just trying to keep their shit together with all the fuckery that's happening in the world right now, or in the West.
Yeah,
like
I can see it at Apparently, it rose slightly in 2021. Trying to see if it's got a link to the original.
the last 2 years data is missing. Okay. So I guess you can't really find it on the CDC website.
Yeah, fast facts, birth mortality. Yeah, 20. Yeah, the earliest stuff I can see is 2021.
Why would you trust them anyway after the 2020 fiasco? Like,
well, who else would even be looking at it? That's the thing. Like, if they didn't have accurate information, then why would they bother hiding it?
Well,
if they were going to falsify the information, then they may as well publish it.
Well, that's a good question. Maybe they're not done with the numbers. Maybe, if they're actually counting. But at the end of the day, chat. At the end of the day, that this is the motto of the West, in my opinion. Women most affected. That is the motto of Western society. So what does that mean? Men, like they don't give a fuck about men. Like they really don't. No matter what happens to a man, they always worry about how the woman feels.
And that's the thing, is like we've gotten to the point where if like men have finally decided to accept that this is the social contract, being all right, society doesn't give a fuck about it. Okay, I don't give a fuck about society.
Agreed. And they're just like so shocked and bamboozled that's even happening right now. Think about chat. The misandry is so widespread of the advocating of hurting and killing men is so widespread and mainstream. Nobody bats an eye. But as soon as men get together to talk about male problems and male issues and saying, hey, maybe we should have fairer laws. Hey, maybe you need to avoid marriage because it's more of a liability than an asset. We get the philosophies get put on the FBI list.
Yeah. Oh, geez. I'm thinking like that scene from The Dark Knight with the Joker is like, girl stabs her boyfriend because she thinks he's cheating on her. Nobody bats an eye. That's all part of the plan. And I get 5 guys in a bar talking about it. Everybody goes crazy.
I should make a meme of that one scene on The Dark Knight where Batman tells Joker to say, "Let her go," and then Joker's like, very poor choice of words. Oh my God. I don't know. Maybe I'll figure out on that one. But chat.
Like women telling men to leave them alone in the workplace, and then like it's workplace relationships, and the Joker's like very poor choice of wording, and then
just drops. Because that's literally what it is.
Yeah, just like office romance. Let her go. Very poor choice of wording. Woo!
Yeah, that's literally what it is. Society got to a point where they made very poor choice of words and decisions that made men feel like, hey, you know what? No matter what I do, I'm the enemy. So I'm going that way. Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. Bye bye. Where are you going? You're supposed to let me mistreat you. Get back here.
Get back here and take my abuse, you coward.
Just think on that, gentlemen. And I'm gonna repeat it one more time because I thought that was hilarious. Women on a daily basis on a mainstream point talks about hurting and killing men. Nobody bats an eye. But as soon as men decides to get together and talk about male struggles and decide, maybe we should make things more fair. Maybe men need to be treated with a little bit more respect. Everybody lose their mind, especially the FBI. Hey, us men, we need to be treated better. You extremist. Like what? Shut your ass up, ATM. Nobody gave you permission to speak.
No. It's like, I think men are deserving of respect. FBI, open it up.
Oh shit. Honestly, that'll be another good meme I can make. Men need to be treated better. FBI open. Oh shit. I'm just saying. And like what Dax the Dog says, like the video Hammerhand showed about the girl on TikTok talking about she's gonna start yeeting dudes. Yeah. And Remember the big chick in the car, Gray, that she says that, oh, I'm gonna straight up murder you.
Yeah, like if you like fucking like look at a woman sexually at all,
Like,
I'll straight up eat you. It's like,
yeah, you went off. Like,
oh yeah, it's like you ain't gonna do that.
like, who's even looking at you? Like,
Yeah.
oh shit. Hey, chat. I know I'm rambling, but this needs to be emphasized. This needs to be emphasized. This needs to be talked about because, like, I don't know how much we gotta put it through the thick fucking empty skulls that by the way that you're treating men in society in the West, you pretty much giving them a drink your poison type situation. Like, doesn't matter what I do, it's going to hurt me in the end. So I might as well go this route that's going to benefit me more. Screw society.
Yeah, if I can't win, then I'm just gonna lose the way that I want to.
I like that. I like that quote. Can you say that one more time?
If I can't win, then I'm just gonna lose the way that I want to.
Bingo. You know what? Maybe that's why they were so adamant on banning that Joker movie. With,
Yeah. Well, what's the thing? It's because like for once you see like a disenfranchised like white man be sympathetic.
yeah, that's true. Oh shit! But hey, man, do you have something to end this conversation about women being most affected?
I think that I guess going back like in-group preference versus out-group preference, like that's just unfortunately a fact of human biology.
Pretty much. And chat, you already heard from me, man. You already heard from me. Okay, it's no biggie for me. It's pretty much at that point where literally focus on you and yourself. Hey, who knows what's going to happen in the future, but at the moment, when it comes to relationships, it's looking pretty bleak in the West. It really is. Because no matter what you do, you're going to lose. For example, if you want to get married, divorce, alimony, you have a child with a woman, child support, you're probably not going to see. Yeah, you're not going to see your child. You're probably going to take your child away, and you won't see your child for the next 18, 20 years.
And with happy wife syndrome, like you are going to be sacrificing yourself.
Shoot, like, literally your health.
Like like strip yourself, like everything that makes you an individual. You're gonna be like an anglerfish. You are going to be a pair of atrophied gonads stuck onto a land.
Yeah,
like you're just gonna fucking stick your face into that woman and dissolve until you are just a sperm dispenser.
Right. Other examples: you hit on a woman, she doesn't find you attractive. You call the creep. Your reputation is potentially ruined, or she may put on some false allegations on you, and she'll put it on TikTok on top of that if you're in the gym. Well, what else? What else?
Like, that's the TikTok has been the best market for home gyms.
Okay, yeah, pretty much.
Bowflex should straight up like send all like every one of these TikToks. Bowflex should send them like a fucking fruit basket or something, saying thank you for encouraging people to buy more home gyms.
Yeah, pretty much. I agree. And let's say you're with your girl. There's a high likely chance that she's gonna be talking to other dudes, because you already know hypergamy is out of control thanks to social media. let's say if you want to break up with your girl, you don't want to deal with her no more. She can have the gonads to try to harm you physically. And if she cannot harm you physically, she will definitely go out of her way to get some assistance, such as lying on social media, lying to the cops. You going to jail, losing your job. Like, there are so many things in society right now where one wrong step, it's over.
Like, that's the thing. Like, honestly, I'd say, like, if you're gonna break up with your girl, you have to announce that shit on social media.
Exactly. Like, at this point, chat, I'm not saying, oh, you need to be paranoid. What I'm saying is, at the moment, put yourself first. Put yourself first.
Sorry, the thing is, it's only paranoia if someone isn't out to get you.
Well, I know. I'm okay. I'm not saying to freak out. That's a good thing. I'm not saying to freak out, chat. What I'm saying is, make yourself the best priority. Okay, we were raised since birth to put your child, your girl, your parents, society first before you. At this point, might as well just focus on yourself.
You gotta put yourself first because literally no one else is.
Bingo. All right, you good?
I'm good.
All right, chat. Thank you very much for joining. I had a great conversation with Gray and the rest of you guys. And thank you for all the super chats and donations. Like, first day, I think I did a pretty decent job. I feel worthy of your investments. All right. This is going to give me a lot of drive to continue videos. I want to do things a bit differently because I do want to include actual shorts and longer videos. So expect one of the two by tomorrow. Because I might as well get busy at this point, right? You know, no time to waste. All right. We are out. Peace.
Peace out.